these injunctions as generalized. They have to be treated as specific advices to a certain people. And if you further investigate the background of all these instructions of Muhammad, then you will fully understand what I mean. For instance, a person comes to him and asks about the best way to please Allah. He tells him to serve his mother. Why? Because that was his defect. He was otherwise all right, but that was his shortcoming. He was not paying full attention to his mother. So when you go to the best physician, he always diagnoses first and then prescribes. So because Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the best spiritual physician that world could ever see, he acted exactly like that. To each individual who came with a question, he answered according to his own personal assessment, according to his measurement, and diagnosed first and then prescribed. So again, somebody who was reluctant to go to jihad or did not understand the full value of jihad, the best answer was, jihad is the best way to please Allah, because that is where you lack. Similarly, in all these situations, all these instructions are particular, not generalized. Because the moment you generalize them, there will be a complete chaos and disorder in the world of hadith, which is impossible. There is completely no contradiction in the words of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the best solution which I have so far found is this. And this satisfied me completely when I went into finding out the backgrounds of whichever hadith I could find. I was fully satisfied that this is the correct answer.
Thank you.
Any other question? Mubarak, you didn't tell me last night how many trout did you catch?
I didn't catch any, sir.
He just took you as witness?
I had no luck at all yesterday.
Did you try your hand anyway?
Yes, I did.
You did? He didn't tell you the secrets of the game?
He did.
He did?
But I wasn't any good at it.
You got the bite?
No, I didn't seem to have the bite.
Were you doing it with float?
I was doing it.
With float. What type of float that was?
It's in bubble, actually.
It was light or heavy or long or lightweight? Very light. And was it a windy day?
Earlier in the day it was.
Yes.
Later on
It improved because, this is very important. The choice of float is highly essential for good fishing. And from time to time, from weather to weather, from the various types of water, the answer would be different. The experts who go to matches, fishing matches, they sometimes take hundreds of floats with them. At least if that is an exaggeration, more than 100 I know positively. Ivan, for instance, one of the best renowned fishermen in England, who has won many international matches, he takes more than 100 floats with him, and he knows which float is for the right wind, for the right season, for the right type of fish, for the right type of depth of water, for the right type of flow. So permutation combination creates so many possibilities that you have to be a top expert on the choice of floats. So that float was imposed upon you, you see?
There's so many new techniques.
And the beginners are advised only to at least to have a few. Some for absolutely calm waters, rippleless, with not much depth. Because the greater the depth, the heavier should be the float. Heavier means that the larger the capacity should be of the float. So they advise a few covering both extremes and one in the middle.
I wasn't well equipped actually yesterday. That's
Because the fish comes and has the bite very cleverly. And if you don't know, then sometimes it sucks the worm and goes away, and the novice doesn't know what has happened. That's the reason perhaps. And what was the reaction of Safi? Was he enjoying thoroughly your being without a fish? Eh? Yesterday he doubly enjoyed that fishing. Eh? So next time you go, you better first read a book or two on this subject.
I have been doing a lot of fishing before, sir, but I have
You have been doing a lot of reading?
fishing.
Fishing, yes.
I did long time ago.
Fishing in troubled waters?
Sea fishing, man.
Yes. Sea fishing. That is completely different. That is not float fishing. This float fishing is a great art. They sometimes, they are allotted about 3 hours in the international matches. And some experts catch more than 200 fish in that allotted time. And the waters are generally difficult where the matches are held. Where for the whole day an ordinary person cannot catch a single fish, there their stock runs into hundreds. Fantastic how they do it. So you will learn by the way, by and by. Huh? Now you have come at last. Please, what would you like to ask? Yes, yes, of course you. We were whiling our time away in waiting for you.
Hazur, there is a mention of the planets, stars and their movements in the Holy Quran. Hazur, is there any mention of the power of gravity in the Holy Quran?
That is very obvious. I think this is something which is known to everybody. بغیر أمد ترونها, the verse which tells you that the whole system of the heavenly bodies is interwoven with certain, let me say, Amadin is in fact this pillar, pole or pillar. So the Holy Quran says exactly, بغیر أمد ترونها, without pillars which you can see, or you can say invisible pillars. But to say invisible pillars would be limiting the scope of various possibilities how this verse can be translated. So it should be translated exactly as the Arabic words dictate. The whole universe, the heavens and the heavenly bodies it means, are standing without losing their orbit upon pillars which you cannot see. Now what are those pillars? And why pillars are mentioned instead of strings? Pillars and strings have two different purposes to serve. In string, you hold the thing in place so that it cannot go beyond, but it can come closer. A pillar serves both the purposes. It can neither gain its distance nor diminish its distance. So the Holy Quran